Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of our YouTube playthrough of Rimworld. I've been playing this game on stream a lot and have been really enjoying it and aching to just play more. So, this is our chance to do that, and also for me to branch out into a different style of content creation. So, if you have any feedback, feel free to share it in the comments. Always going to be reading those and looking to find ways to improve the quality of the videos and improve the experience for you guys. But a few notes, I am not a professional at this game. You will not be seeing Adam versus everything levels of competency. But I like to think I'm relatively competent, and I'm really into it for the story progression that we're going to be seeing. So I'm excited to see how that pans out. And with that being said, let's get started. So we are going to be doing the Gravship run. My idea for this, just as how I view our colonists, is they're amateurs at their craft. They're not experienced hoppers with their Gravship. And the size of their Gravship, the starting Gravship, kind of illustrates that. It's paltry, it's unthreatening. It is not imposing in any way, shape, or form. So with the idea that this is their first potential big haul, they spot this location and think it could contain immeasurable wealth. But instead what they find on this platform that just hangs over this Rimworld is a trap, more turmoil. So in my head, that's kind of what explains their mix of skills, their shoddy Gravship, and the situation they find themselves in, which feels like a rookie mistake to set off the mech hive like that. But for fun, we are going to make this a little bit more difficult than I would normally play it. We're going to be doing Blood and Dust and Randy Random. And we are going to be setting it to commitment mode just to see how bad this gets. Anomaly settings, I'm going to leave it at ambient horror. I've not really done a playthrough of Anomaly yet, but I might do one someday, just to see how it feels. We'll randomize our seed a little bit. Sure. Let's see what happens. I love this game. I've played this game on and off for years, and I really, really love the Odyssey DLC so far. And I feel like if there is a save or a playthrough that I'd want to reach endgame on, it would probably be a Gravship one to get to the mech hive. So that is a goal, either for a stream save or a YouTube save to get there. For the ideology system, I have 3 starting names for colonists in mind, and so with that being said, I do want to create probably a fixed ideology, and we're gonna do let's see, I think we could do Archist. Archist would be interesting, and then this is where it's gonna be fun. Female supremacy. Let's see. Male clothing, male pants, shirt, and hat. Cannibalism, I want to say, or okay, acceptable organ harvesting. I do think that's important. I don't think these 3 colonists are necessarily going to be the best people, but we don't want them to be absolutely abhorrent. Cannibalism is... No, we won't go cannibalism this run. But female supremacy, I think this is probably fine for right now. Diversity of thought, we'll say mild bigotry. No, we'll leave it at neutral. I'm not great at conversion. I frequently forget to activate the conversion, so I don't want to punish myself too hard with this. Otherwise, I think this is fine. Nothing too terribly crazy, but let's randomize a bit to get some starting pawns. And if we're going female supremacy, we obviously need to... Oh wow, 41 Skylorn. Tough, intellectual, or can't do intellectual, can't do artistic, that's fine. The shooting and melee is insane. She's 41, so she's a bit older. Gosh, those skills are pretty good though. All right, well, let's randomize another one and see. Greedy and lazy. Global work speed minus 20%. I'm not super hot on that, but the intellectual is really good. Except that's going to probably impact research time. So I'll skip that. Can't do dumb labor, asthma. No, not quite. Misandrous, that fits with female supremacy, but can't do much of anything, which is going to be really limiting early on. We'll try not to be too picky about this, but I do have something. Pyromaniac, I'm not a huge fan of. Also, all of that. Oh, she's 67 years old with not very good skills. Talia, Undergrounder, too smart. Delicate is a little bit nerve-wracking. Masochist. Okay. Good at shooting, good at construction, crafting, medical. Decent at medical, I should say. Although she's better. Okay. We really just need... Wait, does she... Oh, you have a passion for planting. We need someone who can do some planting. You're not great at much. You really need an adult at the table for this. 38. Intellectual is really good. Let's see. We're really nervous about the plants component here. Can't do dumb labor. That's also going to be a deal breaker, unfortunately. All right. There's a chance we may cut some of this out, just due to time, but that's just the way it's going to be. Let's see. Really good at plants. Decent and intellectual. She has a cochlear implant, which is running at only partial efficiency. Not really sure. I'm not sure what limitations that gives her, but I do like that she is a farmer. She has very light melee skills, not great, so we can kind of keep her in the back line. Too smart, makes her a little bit eccentric. Fast walker, which is really good. She's got the intellectual, she can do plants, she can do melee. Crafting and artistic she has interest in. I think this could be a good option for us. The downside, ooh, hold on. We don't have anyone who can cook. Shoot. Okay, well, it's gonna make this interesting. I think... We're gonna end up with a lot of... food poisoning, I think, early on. But, I think we'll deal with it. I think we should be fine. I think if we try to keep a relatively clean workspace, that might help. But we will find out, won't we? So... let's give these three their names. We've got... let's see if we can get this to select. Manny, Sydney, and Yeti. Oops. Oops, and it tried to help me out there. Okay. Well, let's get it going. The only mods I should show, well, I'll show in a moment. You screwed up, and now the mech hive wants you dead. Its terrifying murder machines will arrive soon. Gather the valuable Gravlight panels, then use your Gravship to flee to a safe location on the planet below. To launch the Gravship, select the pilot console and then select the launch command. On the world map, select the view planet. From now on, wherever you go, the mechanoids will eventually find you. To stop them, you must find and defeat the mech hive itself. Okay. So, just for your interest, you can see the only mods I have are very aesthetic or like user interface related. We didn't really use character editor this time, so that's not an issue, but color-coded mood bar and the interaction bubbles just so we can kind of see what they're yapping about when our colonists are having conversations, but very light on mods. Nothing crazy. With that being said, let us get underway. I'm going to have to sometimes remember a couple of controls because it's been a few weeks since I've played, but otherwise, this should hopefully be pretty smooth. Let's turn the audio on the music down just a teeny bit. It's a little loud. Okay. So, first steps on a Gravship run, grab everything you can and get off. As you can see, the mech hive scanning process is close to determining your location. When it locates your Gravship, it will send a massive mechanoid force to kill you. Gather your supplies, then flee the map by selecting the pilot console and selecting launch. So, yeah, we have 10 hours. And from what I've seen, the the mechanoid swarm that comes is literally no joke. It is pretty wild. You will die, basically. Are we... What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we just relaxing, or... They're all taking a break at the same time, and we don't have a ton of time for this. Gang? Oh shit, they can't get to it. Oh, that's a bummer. Huh. Can we we can't. Shoot. Okay. What are our options? Do you guys have guns equipped? No, you don't. Where's our guns? Machine pistol. What is this one? Auto pistol. Auto pistol. Equip machine pistol. We'll give you the steel axe. Okay. Let's try to do this really quickly. Okay. Undraft. We gotta hustle. We're we're cutting it way closer than I ever thought I would on the opening. But we should be okay. We might be okay. We have 3 hours. Okay, we're good. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Okay. We're already starting it off a little horrifyingly, but what is your piloting ability? Oh, you cannot do intellectual, that's why. Ugh. Okay, we are very likely to have a minor incident when landing the Gravship, 72%. Not much we can do about that. So let's just go for it. And we managed to make it out with 2 hours to spare, which is, again, cutting it way closer than I ever have. Did not realize that that was going to be an issue. Okay, so are you sure you want to launch? Your current map, as well as anything not on the Gravship substructure, will be permanently lost. The launch process is destructive, meaning you won't be able to return. Build a grav anchor to prevent this map from being destroyed. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. Let us land. So here's our potential landing spots. Temperate forest. What are we looking at growing-wise? Well, year-round growing is really nice. We probably want to get somewhere with stone and maybe some defenses here. Being near a highway typically would be pretty nice on a traditional run, but because we're not... because we have Gravship, that's not really a huge issue. What is this? Chilled. Rough octopus plant. What does that mean? Mixed biome. Ancient chemfuel refinery. Maybe we try that one in a little bit. I don't want to risk our run starting out. Okay. Year-round growing is really, really helpful. I will say that. Mountainous also gives us some defense, some natural defense from raids. So I think we should land here, because this is relatively far away from them to where we're not going to make them too upset. And then not really centralized on the planet, but we can make this work. All right. And taking off for the first time. I feel like the first episode of a series in Rimworld is always a little harder because you spend so much time in the setup phase and not necessarily doing a lot of gameplay, but I think we should be okay. All right, what have we got? So let's look for growing areas. This is right at the edge of the map, not a fan. I think this might be a pretty good spot. It's very closed off, so we have a natural barrier on 3 sides. We can dig through to get this iron and maybe work our way around, but it doesn't look bad. Random door. Just full of mysteries here. Let's say, I think this will work. Let's land right. We'll land like right here. All right. And we've landed. First things first, let's get our work schedules set up. So this is really one of the first things I typically do on a playthrough is, and I think most people tend to do, just get your priorities in order. So this is the order of priorities that your pawns will go through when they're trying to determine what to do next. So for instance, with Sydney being our primary doctor, we want that to be the first thing she does aside from putting out fires and also being a patient if she's injured herself. But obviously neither Maddie nor Yeti will be farmers, or doctors, I should say. Bed rest is obviously important. Childcare, I have this set to 1. It doesn't really matter right now. Basic is just, as you can see, flicking switches, releasing prisoners, etc., etc. Just things that I would like done pretty quickly because they're very easy. Construction, we'll let Maddie and Sydney do. That's excellent. Hunting, Sydney will take care of because Sydney is, I think, the one that has the best shooting. Mining, yeah. Growing is obviously going to be Yeti's forte, as well as research. That's going to be a little tricky, so if we want to accomplish a lot of research, we won't be able to go overboard on planting. Otherwise, research is just never going to get done. Let's say hunting, yeah. I think this is fine. Cleaning, generally last, but there shouldn't be. I mean, there's going to be a lot to do, I think, in the first stages of the game because we're getting grow plots. We're trying to build a few things. And I think for their comfort right now, they're probably going to want something a little cozier than this. So I might build a wood shack. Let's see. Let's take a look at our growing areas. And we're just going to do the basics right now. Let's get some rice planted. There we go. Just, how many plots is this? Oops, there we go. 93, we might be going overboard. I never do the math on how much you get per. We could do that now. Let's see. Yield 6 per, so we have 96. That's gonna be close to like between 500 and 600 rice. Yeah, I think that'll do it. We'll get that planted first. We don't want to divide their attention. And then we can maybe plant some, try to get cotton or something. But for now, let's let that get underway. And so Yeti's going to be cutting down trees to clear land for the crops. And that's the wood we can use to build a little hut. We'll build it. Ooh, well, we could just build it right here, actually. Is this marble? That's marble. Does it have... I mean, if we smooth it, it would, but this would be a pretty comfortable place for us to sleep. Again, I'm not min-maxing things, so there may be a better order in which to do some of this stuff, but that's an excellent bed. That's crazy. And a normal bed. In my mind, I think they would want a comfortable place to live. All right, let's take a look at the map while they're working on that. So we've got, let's see, plenty of steel. I don't know if there's any ancient dangers to be aware of. I don't necessarily think I would crack one open on the first landing spot, but if we do find ourselves raided and they happen to come near the ancient danger, we could always open it for them and let them fight it for us. But I don't think we do. I do see this compacted machinery we will absolutely want to mine up. We have tons of steel, so I think that's going to be very helpful. Oh, there's some more compacted machinery. Just want to make note of that so that we can mine that up as soon as we can. Not a bad starting map. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. And I'm just so curious about this single door. Maybe we'll send somebody to open that. I'm betting, my bet, is we're just going to see a single open area right there. Haven't made a lot of progress on the crops. That's fine. They've had a long day. There we go. Should be able to get the rest of the crops planted today, and then we can keep progressing. Yeah, I love this game. I used to not play on commitment mode. I used to be very anxious about losing a pawn that I'd invested a lot of time in. But since then I've learned, I don't know. And what you'll have seen if you watch any of my Twitch playthroughs or any of my Twitch streams where we play is having permadeath on commitment mode can create some really, really interesting outcomes, especially given the fact that I'm not amazing at this game, because we lost pretty much everybody that we started with already within the first landing spot or two. So it's kind of a clean slate. If you're ever interested in joining us when we play this, our current schedule is Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We will stream our main playthrough of Rimworld, but I do stream other days of the week. And I will have a link to my Twitch in the description if you want to come check us out. You're more than welcome to join us. Okay, crops are planted. All right, we do need some recreation for these people. Let's just pop a... Let's put it like here so it's kind of central to everything else. We want to... Let's see, what's the temperature? 62 degrees. Don't need to worry about temperature quite yet. What we will want to do is start expanding our ship. That's going to be pretty important, since this will be, like, we're building a shack to sleep in, but eventually we will move, well, we'll move one of these beds into the ship. We should probably try to make those look a bit better. But this is our building area for our Gravship. If you've never sort of gone through the Gravship start, or if this is your first time watching Rimworld, this is our buildable area. This is what we can utilize. We also have a hard limit on how large we can make this ship. That can be expanded by finding parts through raids on other tiles, and those parts will show up over time. We'll get notifications that we've identified a location that has more Gravlight panels and more Gravship, Grav engine parts that will help us get this number higher. So a little bit dinky for right now, but just to kind of plan out, I kind of like the idea of, if we bring this down, let's see, we want to move these engines pretty quickly too. I'm nervous to make just a brick, but I also feel like the brick is possibly just gonna happen. Let's start with a single barracks for now, for them, that we can prep, and then left side can be more kitchen and recreational area, and refrigerator I think will work. So if we expand out like this is a horrifying looking ship already, but that's fine. That's the beauty of it. I mean, this is just a wonderful shape, I think. But let's imagine walls. This is hard to do if you want a 2-tile wide hallway, because this is an odd number of tiles across. So you can't really get 2 across without having it be more off-center. So what we could do is just expand it to one side. And then have this come out one more. And then roughly at the halfway point, which would be, I think, right here. Yep. This will be our main hallway. And then we have our barracks on the right. We could do 1, 2, 3 beds right there. We could have our kitchen, actually. Really crummy kitchen right here. And then refrigerator and rec area right here. I also have not done the math on if this will fit with the amount of Gravlight we have. So we'll focus on what we can and then see where we land. But nonetheless, let's get this started. Let's get this substructure started first. So our hallway and our bedroom / kitchen area. Okay, so Sydney's gonna start working on that, which is good. Yeah. Luckily, we have 2 people that are good at construction, so that will speed this up quite a bit. Often I find myself with just one good pawn that's constructing, which slows this process down quite a bit. But I think this should be fine. The question really is just going to be, how many of these can we build before we run out of Gravlight and have to wait until we find our next batch. Now we have to name our ship. Maddie has high hopes for your new Gravship and wants to christen it with a good name. What should your Gravship be called? The Blue Cruiser is kind of a good name, actually. The Large Anguish actually feels very fitting, because I feel like a mixture of my available skills and how my luck tends to go with these runs. If it's anything like my stream run, this will probably fit us very well. But what I will say, now that we're getting this underway, we've landed our ship, we have our crops planted. I think we will go ahead and stop it for the first episode. Keep these close to 25 to 30 minutes apiece, just to make them a little bit more digestible and to give you a break from having to listen to me yap for so long. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the first episode of what I hope will be a long-running series, depending on how enjoyable this is for you and how long these people stay alive. But yeah, also come check us out on Twitch. I stream Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And I'll also have a new episode for this coming out as soon as I can. But thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you.